Welcome to the Squared Circle 101, motherfuckers. I'm John.
I'm Travis.
And we're in an exciting time in wrestling right now. Heading into WrestleMania. TNA got rid of Vince Russo, so they're doing a little better. ROH, of course, is still providing really good wrestling, good television. So,
Still a sausage fest, but
yeah.
I digress. Let's talk about Raw, shall we?
It was announced this past Monday that Shawn Michaels will be the special guest referee for Triple H and The Undertaker's match at WrestleMania, and that Kevin Nash would be the special guest referee for The Rock versus John Cena.
No, that was just your hearing.
I was just kidding about that part. Could you imagine how ridiculous that would be, though?
Oh, it would be quite ridiculous.
We have a new United States champion in Santino Marella.
He defeated Jack Swagger with a lot of shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
Continuing up the GM storyline feud.
I think that this will have a good payoff at WrestleMania. A nice multi-man tag team match. You know, if they decide to go with a team of 5 each, or a team of 6 each, or a team of 7 each, I don't think that'd be a bad idea, you know? I mean,
No.
get a lot of people on the card.
Absolutely. You can get The Miz, Kofi,
Drew McIntyre.
yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
You'll get Otunga.
Santino. I don't think Ryder will be involved in that match because, as we saw on Monday, they're continuing things with him and Eve Torres.
Which I'm showing a Ryder heel turn, but a sympathetic heel turn.
Yeah, I don't really get what's going on there exactly yet, but we'll see how it plays out.
I'm gonna make my guess and say Eve is going to use him, and he's going to be a heel, but once he figures out
that he's being a heel at the same time.
and then
Be
eventually
interesting.
figure it out and turn back to babyface.
We also saw the continuation of a feud that was started this past Friday on SmackDown in a match between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. Kane came out and chokeslammed Orton and said, "Welcome back, Randy." This past Monday on Raw, we saw
Kane
Randy
versus
Orton.
R-Truth.
Yeah, which ended with Kane hitting a thunderous chokeslam. Then after the match, he received an RKO, and Randy Orton responded, "It's good to be back." So, it's getting pretty interesting. They're putting some thought into the Kane-Orton feud, and this should be a pretty good match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they're both good workers, and it may be in a sense a little bit of a throw together, but it's probably the best option they could have gone with Randy.
We also saw a nice tag team match, Jericho and World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan against WWE Champion CM Punk and #1 contender for Bryan's title, Sheamus. We saw Jericho score the pinfall on CM Punk with a small package. This could be a sign of things to come at WrestleMania. Will Jericho dethrone Punk and claim his rightful place as best in the world?
We shall see, but I don't. My opinion.
Think Punk's going to take it?
I think Punk's going to take it. However, I do see the rematch at Extreme Rules and Jericho taking it and then Punk winning the third.
Well, there's rumors that over the summer Jericho's leaving to go tour with Fozzy again.
Well, that's only, what, two months?
Yeah. Yeah, well...
May and June, and then he can leave. Punk can take him
Now,
out.
here's my problem with the Jericho-Punk feud so far. They've been focusing so much on the best in the world thing that it's kind of taken sight away from the WWE title.
And that's two of the guys you would think would really covet the title.
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple to put that in there. Just say the WWE title represents being the best in the world, and there you go.
Yeah. I mean, they could easily turn it back around and make the title feel more important. But like you said, yeah, at this point it doesn't really feel all that important. I mean, compared to the title of best in the world.
Yeah, well, we also got a few Boston history lessons from The Rock on Monday Night Raw. Those were very entertaining.
Very entertaining. First being a lesson about the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, where he dumped a bunch of Cena's crap in the harbor. By the way, on live TV, you're throwing stuff into a harbor. How do you not get arrested for littering?
I'm sure they had something underneath the bridge catching it.
Yeah.
But
hopefully, because I mean, he threw an alarm clock in there. Probably had batteries in it.
And he threw cologne.
That's why our ice caps are melting.
But a funny thing about the Garden Gnome is there is not a John Cena Garden Gnome, but however, there is a Hornswoggle, Triple H, and The Rock has a Garden Gnome, even.
And he made fun of Cena for having one.
Who doesn't have one?
Go figure.
Yeah.
This was all following last week's promo where Cena came out and ran down The Rock for having his notes on his arm.
Which, of course, was planned.
Yeah, it's a work, I'm willing to bet. But even if it's not, it was a 20 fucking minute promo. Can you really blame the guy?
Yeah, but it's just something. The Rock never did it before.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just obvious they're trying to help
And
Cena.
the acting, the fact that he went on to go to an acting career doesn't help sell the fact that he needs to write notes on his wrist, you know.
Okay. But,
John Cena delivered a very serious promo during the night in the empty arena. It's pre-taped, of course.
and The Rock joked around, and then when it came time they met in the ring, Rock got serious, and Cena, not so much.
Yeah.
So, I like the way they're handling the feud. It's definitely going in a good direction. Even though it's obvious that they're trying to help Cena, you know, with little things, you know, like the notes on the wrist of The Rock and stuff like that.
Yeah. Next week we're going to see Cena do a rap and The Rock do one of his favorite, or one of his famous little concerts like he did for Stone Cold and Goldberg. And in addition to that, we're going to see the face-off between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. All leading up to the Triple H Undertaker Hell in a Cell, which, here's something that's been speculated, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know. How are they going to have the cell hung up in a stadium with no roof?
Some of these posted a picture of how they would do it.
I mean, like at WrestleMania 24, they had a structure there to hold the lights and everything. So that's how I'm envisioning how they would do it. However, that's not how I'm hoping they do it.
How are you hoping they do it?
Helicopter just brings it in during the show. That's a dream world, but let me live in it.
Alright, well, let's talk a little bit about SmackDown.
Alright, this past Friday, of course, I noted earlier, Randy Orton faced Daniel Bryan, and Kane interfered, chokeslammed Randy Orton, set up their match for WrestleMania. We saw the continuation, or the announcement of Big Show versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. We've been seeing a string of embarrassing Big Show moments at WrestleMania presented by Cody Rhodes, and this is all very interesting leading up to their match.
Will Big Show get the big win and win the Intercontinental title?
For the first time in his career, by the way.
Or will Cody get the better of Show and continue adding on to the embarrassing moments of Show's WrestleMania career?
I mean, I would hardly count a loss to Cody Rhodes as an embarrassing moment, you know.
No, but his continuing of his losing streak, being the anti-Undertaker.
I mean, he's won matches at WrestleMania, like he
won one or two.
Like he won that tag match with Kane against Masters and Carlito, that tag match with Miz against Truth and Morrison, and that 8-man tag last year. So that's 3, and there's probably a couple others, but I've dropped some big names, people. Soak them all in. And why hasn't he brought up losing to Mick Foley at WrestleMania 15 for the right to be the referee in the Rock Austin match? I mean, maybe that's not that embarrassing.
Well, I mean, we still have, like you said, about a month to go. I mean, there's plenty of time still for this. Such as him not even being at one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time.
Yeah,
even though he was with the company.
Yeah, that he showed that Monday night.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. WrestleMania, woo! Woo! Gotta love that.
Which, by the way, Cody has really stepped up his promo ability since getting the new character that he has.
Yeah. Now, I wonder what's going on with Shaq in WrestleMania. Did they scrap that plan due to the leaking of the match, or?
I believe so.
Because, I mean, that probably also leaked the idea of a Big Show heel turn, and they probably didn't want that, so they wanted to mix it all up.
Yeah, knowing WWE, they take drastic measures and that sort of thing.
Hopefully this year the planned match card doesn't get leaked, because then Vince will just mess it all up just because he doesn't.
Yeah, he'll freak out and put Sheamus versus D-Bry as the very first match of the night.
Like he did last year with Del Rio and Edge.
Yeah. Or heck, maybe they'll get pushed off of the card again.
I still think that's the only reason why they're giving them the world title match. It's kind of an apology for pushing them off the card last year, and plus it'll be a great match, and we have seen them really rise amongst the ranks, and
they're definitely two of the top guys on SmackDown. There's no doubt about it, and they've earned it, and they deserve it.
We're even hearing SmackDown fans chant the word yes for Daniel Bryan and hold signs that say yes. It's
I mean, he's gotten himself over. And, of course, Sheamus has gotten himself over through a face turn, which was rightfully needed.
Yeah, he was getting kind of stale as a heel, so they turned him face, you know.
Which, by the way, I watch other wrestling discussion shows, and the question's been brought up to them about a Miz babyface turn and move to SmackDown. What do you think about that?
I think he's kind of reached his peak as a heel anyway, or heck, it doesn't even have to be the turn. He could just go to SmackDown, you know, because I mean, he's reached his peak on Raw and it's kind of starting to fizzle out. But I think what's really hurting The Miz is just his backstage attitude, stuff like that. But you know, just stupid stuff like not catching R-Truth, etc., etc. So, yeah, I think The Miz, more than anything else, just needs to change his attitude, you know, be more careful in the ring, stuff like that. And, of course, a flip to SmackDown would do him some good, but I don't know if a babyface turn at this time would really do him as much as it could.
Okay. Alright, let's talk a little bit about TNA, since we have not talked about them and they are finally turning it around.
Yeah, we are going to see Sting versus Bobby Roode at the upcoming pay-per-view. Non-title, because, you know, Sting's not really a full-time active competitor. He's just kind of like an authority figure.
Yeah. But
it's just a personal feud and it should be pretty good. I guess we've seen Samoa Joe and Magnus turn face based on the six-man tag last week. You know, Storm, Magnus and Joe against Rude, Ray and Aries. Yeah, glad to see they're putting Aries in the spotlight.
Yeah,
starting to.
That's nice.
I mean, guys got great in-ring work and of course great promo ability.
So great that even WWE used him in WWE 12. I mean, they obviously see something there, at least in his promo skills.
So at Lockdown we'll see James Storm versus Bobby Roode, which will be a great match, of course. And at Victory Road we'll see a rematch from TNA's 2010 No Surrender pay-per-view between Hardy and Angle. That match was great, so we'll see if we can repeat the success this year.
If Hardy's on, I expect it to be.
And of course James Storm will be facing Bully Ray. They should have that in the last match to keep up the trend of drunk people wrestling in the main event of Victory Road. But in all seriousness, it looks to be a pretty solid show. Looks like the booking has improved and Russo's gone. He will never work in wrestling again, hopefully.
At least not TNA or WWE.
And definitely not ROH, or else Jim Cornette will kill him.
So, mainstream wrestling, not anytime soon.
Maybe CZW.
No, that's not mainstream. You want it to be mainstream, but...
No, I mean, like, not saying it's mainstream, I'm just saying he might work there.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not even really that much of a CZW fan, honestly. I mean, sure, a lot of the big weapons matches are cool, but lack of in-ring skill kind of, you know, diminishes it.
Which also, by the way, there's a little bit of, just a tiny bit of news. Percy Watson...
signed with CZW?
No. Percy Watson...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Darren Young and I can't remember the third person, but they've been added to the SmackDown roster. They have officially graduated from NXT. Will they still be on there? I'll guarantee it, but
yeah,
being added to the main roster is a big deal.
They need to just get rid of NXT. It's done. Nobody watches it anymore.
I mean, it really helps those young guys though, because Superstars helps the guys who are already names
Yeah.
Like the Drew McIntyres and the Epico and Primo and the Kofi and them get more, practice in. And NXT helps the really green guys get in front of a big group of large, arena of people. So,
Yeah.
I see its use, at least. So,
We seem to be running out of time here, so for a conclusion, I'll say I'm John.
And I'm Travis.
And
thank you
keep
for watching
watching.
Squared Circle 101. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube if you have your own
account, yeah.
Leave a comment, even though no one ever does.
Or just tell us through text or message or something. But yeah, we'd appreciate a comment on the Facebook page or something. Just give us some feedback. Tell us if there's anything that you thought we missed that we should have brung up,
or any questions
anything
you might have, even.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you all next time.
First.